Life has a way of cornering us, doesn't it? Always pushing us to manage every outcome, predict every step, and hold everything together with sheer willpower. We hustle harder, think longer, try to outplan the universe itself, only to end up drained, anxious, and wondering why nothing seems to fall into place. But here's the twist no one tells you. What if the real secret to getting what you want isn't in pushing more, but in letting go? What if your breakthrough isn't waiting at the end of more effort, but in the quiet moment you finally release the need to control everything? Today, we're stepping into the art of surrender, a deeper, softer, wiser way of living. And once you understand it, you'll realize something powerful. Everything you've been chasing may already be on its way to you. 1. The universe responds to your vibration, not your desperation. If there's one truth that quietly shapes every part of your life, it's this. The universe responds to your vibration, not your desperation. Most people don't realize how much their energy speaks long before their words or actions ever do. But in spiritual teachings, especially in Buddhism, your vibration is everything. It's the frequency you're operating on, the invisible signal you're broadcasting through your thoughts, your emotions, and the beliefs you quietly hold about yourself. Think of it this way. Your vibration is your energetic signature. When you carry calmness, trust, and inner steadiness, you radiate abundance without even trying. Your energy says, I'm open, I'm ready, I believe good things are coming. And the universe mirrors that back to you through opportunities, synchronicities, people who appear at the right time, and paths that suddenly open. But when you move through life with anxiety, fear, or a constant hunger for something to finally work, your energy shifts. Desperation broadcasts lack. It says, I don't have enough. I'm afraid. I need this to happen or I'll fall apart. And the universe, always responding to vibration, doesn't hear your wish. It hears your fear. It reflects the scarcity you feel inside, even when you're trying so hard to attract something better. That's why people who are constantly chasing something, love, money, success, validation, end up pushing it further away. Chasing comes from fear. Receiving comes from trust. So the key is not to force anything to happen. The key is to shift your vibration. When you stop begging life to give you what you want, when you stop gripping outcomes with shaking hands, when you breathe, soften your energy, and align yourself with the feeling of already being supported, your whole frequency changes. Calm confidence is magnetic. Trust is magnetic. Inner peace is magnetic. The universe reads energy, not effort. It responds to alignment, not panic. So if you truly want something to come your way, stop chasing it. Become the version of yourself who already trusts that it will come. Align your energy, release the need to control, and allow life to meet you halfway. Because what you desire is already on its way. 2. You only block what you try to control. One of the most overlooked truths in life is that the harder you try to control everything, the more you actually push it away. We think control protects us, that if we plan perfectly, anticipate every outcome, and manage every detail, nothing can go wrong. But spiritually, the opposite is true. Control creates resistance, and resistance blocks the natural flow of your life. Imagine holding something delicate in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the more you lose the ability to feel it. That's what control does. It numbs you, hardens you, closes you off. There are 2 layers to this kind of control. There's external control, trying to dictate outcomes, force timing, and manage how other people behave. This usually comes from fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of disappointment, fear that if we don't handle everything ourselves, life will fall apart. But the truth is, the more you try to micromanage life, the more friction you create. Then there's internal control, trying to suppress your feelings, police your thoughts, or force yourself into a certain emotional state. This is the quiet kind of control that drains you from the inside out. When you fight your own emotions, you create tension within your mind and body. You lose peace, clarity, and the ability to simply be. But when you loosen your grip, even just a little, something shifts. Letting go doesn't mean becoming passive or irresponsible. It means taking inspired action without obsessing over the outcome. It means showing up with intention, but not clinging to how everything must unfold. It means trusting that what's meant for you cannot be taken, delayed, or ruined by anyone. The more you try to control, the more you block. When you let go, you create space. Space for new opportunities to come in. Space for blessings to land naturally. Space for timing to align in ways you never could have planned. Space for the universe to move on your behalf. Life flows the moment you stop fighting with it. Miracles appear the moment you stop demanding them on your schedule. So loosen your grip. Breathe. Act with intention, but release the outcome. Because the moment you stop trying to force everything, you finally allow life to give you what was always meant to be yours. 3. Silence speaks louder than noise. In a world overflowing with noise, silence has become a rare luxury. Everywhere we look, something is demanding our attention. Buzzing phones, endless notifications, constant conversations, and the non-stop chatter of our own minds. Even when the outside world is loud, the inside can be louder. Overthinking, replaying scenarios, imagining outcomes. It never seems to stop. But in Buddhist wisdom, silence is not just the absence of sound. Silence is a space, a clear, open field where truth can finally land. It's the moment your mind stops stirring long enough for insight to rise to the surface. Think of your mind as a lake. When the water is constantly disturbed, waves of thoughts, ripples of anxiety, storms of worry, you can't see anything beneath it. But when the lake becomes still, even for a moment, the water turns clear. You can see straight to the bottom. Every truth, every answer, every direction becomes visible. That's what inner silence does. It brings clarity that noise can never offer. And silence isn't just an inner state. It's a powerful force in the way you interact with the world. In a society where everyone is shouting to be heard, trying to prove themselves, trying to be the loudest voice in the room, choosing silence is an act of strength. It shows you're not reactive. You're not controlled by chaos. You're anchored. You're steady. You're in command of your inner world. Silence says, I don't need to fight for attention. My peace is louder than the noise around me. And because silence is spacious, it makes room for the universe to speak to you. Life rarely sends guidance through dramatic signs. Most of the time, it arrives as subtle nudges, a feeling, a whisper, a small, intuitive pull. When your mind is noisy, you miss them. When your mind is quiet, you catch every signal meant for you. This is why the most aligned people aren't the ones who talk the most. They're the ones who listen the deepest. Silence speaks louder than noise. It guides you. It grounds you. It opens the door to everything you desire. When you embrace silence, inside and out, you don't lose power. You gain access to the wisdom that was trying to reach you all along. 4. The art of trusting timing. We live in a world that rewards speed, fast results, instant answers, immediate gratification. Everything around us is built to make us feel like waiting is a problem, like if something isn't happening right now, it must be wrong, delayed, or slipping away from us. And because of that, we grow restless, we panic, we question ourselves, we question the universe. But spiritually, timing is never random. There is a divine rhythm to your life, a pace, a flow, a sequence that doesn't follow the deadlines created by your fear or your ego. The universe doesn't rush, it moves with intention. And every piece falls into place exactly when it's meant to, not a moment sooner, not a moment later. When you trust timing, you release the heavy question that keeps so many people trapped. Why hasn't it happened yet? You stop assuming the delay means denial. You stop thinking waiting is punishment. and you start understanding that every pause has a purpose. Nature shows us this perfectly. Flowers don't bloom because someone forces them open. They bloom when they're ready, after the soil has warmed, after the roots have strengthened, after the invisible process of growth has taken place beneath the surface. Your life works the same way. The waiting seasons, the quiet stretches, the still periods, the moments where nothing seems to move, are not empty. They're preparation. They are shaping you, strengthening you, refining you into the person capable of holding what you're asking for. Sometimes the universe delays something because you're not ready yet, the circumstances aren't aligned yet, or something better is forming just out of sight. Patience is not passive. It's one of the most powerful acts of faith. It says, I trust that what is meant for me cannot miss me. It says, I am willing to align with the universe's rhythm, not force life to bend to mine. It says, I believe that things are happening even when I cannot see them. When you embrace this mindset, your entire energy softens. You stop chasing, doubting, and overthinking. You start living, breathing, and allowing. And that's when the magic begins. Because when you no longer fight the timing of your life, you start noticing the beauty in the journey, the lessons, the small blessings, the subtle signs guiding you forward. So take a deep breath, loosen your expectations, trust the rhythm of your path. What's meant for you is moving, quietly, perfectly, toward you. Let the universe surprise you. 5. You attract what you believe you deserve. One of the most transformative truths you will ever learn is this: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe you deserve. This is the core of both Buddhist wisdom and the law of attraction. Life doesn't respond to your wishes, it responds to your self-worth. The universe is always mirroring the vibration you hold about yourself. Your beliefs form the energetic signature you carry everywhere you go. If deep down you believe you're worthy of peace, of love, of success, of joy, that belief becomes a powerful magnet. It shapes your decisions, your energy, your confidence, and the way you move through the world. And because of that, the universe aligns people, opportunities, and circumstances that match that inner truth. But if you hold the belief that you're not good enough, if you think you'll always struggle, if you quietly assume nothing good lasts for you, that belief becomes a barrier, a subtle, invisible wall that keeps abundance on the other side. Not because the universe is withholding anything, but because your vibration says, I don't believe I'm ready for it. There are always two stories running in your life. Case A, the worthy story. When you believe you deserve love, you stop tolerating half-hearted connections. When you believe you deserve abundance, you stop settling for survival mode. When you believe you deserve peace, you stop engaging in chaos, and the universe mirrors that back, with better relationships, aligned opportunities, unexpected blessings, and doors that open exactly when you need them. Case B, the unworthy story. When you believe you're unworthy, you sabotage good things. You shrink yourself. You question every blessing. You chase people who don't choose you. You accept less because you don't believe more is possible. And the universe reflects that vibration too, reinforcing the very lack you fear. This is why self-belief isn't a luxury. It's the key, the door, the gateway to your entire destiny. And shifting this belief doesn't mean becoming entitled. It doesn't mean demanding life to give you everything you want. It means recognizing your intrinsic value, the value you have simply because you exist. It is the quiet but powerful knowing that you are worthy of the things your soul longs for. The moment you adopt this belief, something beautiful happens. You stop sabotaging yourself. You stop settling for less. You stop living small. You begin taking inspired action, the kind of action that comes from confidence, not fear. You become open to receiving instead of constantly proving, because the universe is always responding to your energy. Not sometimes. Not when it's convenient. Always. And the more you believe in your worth, the more the universe will respond with exactly what you once thought you could never have. Your belief is the doorway. Your worthiness is the key. And the moment you step into it, your entire reality shifts. 6. Calmness is a manifestation in itself. We've been taught our entire lives that the only way to achieve anything meaningful is to hustle harder, stay busy, push nonstop, and never slow down. Society glorifies exhaustion as proof of ambition, but spiritually this belief is backwards. Calmness, not chaos, not frantic effort, is one of the most powerful forms of manifestation. Calmness is the fertile ground where your desires take root. It's the rich soil where clarity, intuition, and alignment begin to bloom. When your mind is peaceful, you can finally hear what your soul has been trying to tell you all along. Think again of the peaceful lake. When the water is calm, you can see everything clearly beneath the surface. But when it's stirred up, waves of anxiety, ripples of fear, storms of rushing energy, nothing is visible. You can't see opportunities, you can't hear your intuition, and you can't feel what the universe is trying to send you. Calmness is not passive. It's not giving up. It's not sitting still and hoping life magically fixes itself. Calmness is aligned action. Action that comes from clarity, not panic. Intuition, not fear. Wisdom, not impulse. When your mind is driven by anxiety, everything feels urgent, heavy, and chaotic. You bounce from thought to thought and decision to decision without any real direction. But the moment you begin cultivating inner calm, something shifts. Your thinking sharpens. Your vision clears. Your energy softens and becomes cleaner. Instead of swimming upstream, fighting every current, you start flowing with life. You stop resisting and begin understanding. Calmness on the inside aligns your mind, your focus, and your entire energetic field with a much deeper intelligence. And calmness doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you start taking the right actions from the right energy. Anxiety-driven action is frantic, the kind where you rush, force, or push because you're afraid things won't happen unless you make them happen. But calm action feels very different. It's intentional. It's precise. It carries power because it comes from certainty, not fear. When you move from a calm place, you make better decisions. You take fewer steps, but each one matters. Your energy becomes grounded, confident, magnetic, and life responds to that vibration. Then comes the most transformative layer, calmness with outcomes. True manifestation begins the moment you stop obsessing over timing. You stop checking the clock of the universe, wondering when your desires will arrive. You stop interfering with the flow of life by micromanaging every detail. Calmness says, I trust the process. I trust the timing. I trust that what's meant for me is already on its way. That trust becomes a frequency of its own, powerful, steady, and irresistible. Calmness is not laziness. Calmness is mastery. It's the quiet certainty that you are supported, guided, and aligned, even when the surface of your life looks still. Calmness is your superpower. It's the key to unlocking everything the universe is preparing for you. And the quieter you become inside, the more clearly life begins to speak. 7. When you let go, you make space for miracles. We live in a culture that glorifies the grind. Push harder, fight for everything, chase success, force outcomes. And if something isn't happening fast enough, the message is simple: work more, hustle more, control more. But spiritually, especially through the lens of Buddhist teachings, attachment is the true source of suffering. Not the effort itself, but the grip, the tightness, the fear of losing what you have or not getting what you want. That tension becomes resistance, and resistance blocks the natural energy of the universe. Letting go is not giving up. It's giving space. It's releasing your need to control how something happens and when it arrives. It's trusting that the universe sees the entire picture, even when you can only see one small corner. Think of planting a seed. You can water it, care for it, give it sunlight, but you cannot pull it open with your hands. You cannot dictate the exact moment it sprouts or the exact shape it will take. Your job is the nurturing. Nature handles the timing and the transformation. Life works the same way. You set the intention. You take the steps. You show up with your heart open. And then you release the need to micromanage the outcome. Because when you try to force everything, you're telling the universe, I don't trust the process. I don't believe things will unfold unless I push them into place. And that energy creates walls instead of doors. Letting go happens on many levels. You let go of the outcome. You trust that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. You let go of the fear of losing. You understand that what stays, stays because it's aligned, not because you clung to it. You let go of the past. You release the old stories, the old heartbreaks, the old versions of you that no longer fit the person you're becoming. And when you release all of that, something extraordinary happens. You create space. Space for new opportunities. Space for new people. Space for joy, abundance, clarity, alignment. Space for miracles, the kind that only appear when you stop forcing and start allowing. And yes, miracles often look nothing like what you imagined, because the universe isn't limited by your expectations. It works from a higher vantage point. It orchestrates connections, timing, and alignment you could never plan on your own. This is where real magic begins. Because the truth is simple. The more you release, the more you open yourself to receive. The more space you allow, the more miracles can flow. The more you trust, the more the universe can move on your behalf. Letting go is an act of deep spiritual courage. It says, I believe that even when I cannot see the full path, it is still forming beneath my feet. It says, I trust that the universe is working for my highest good, even in the silent seasons. It says, I choose peace over pressure, surrender over fear. And when you choose surrender, life expands. Opportunities arrive out of nowhere. People show up at the perfect moment. Situations resolve themselves. And blessings that were once blocked by resistance begin to flow freely. So loosen your grip. Breathe deeper. Allow more. When you let go, you don't lose control. You gain alignment. You make room for the universe to deliver not only what you asked for, but things far greater than you ever imagined. This is the moment everything begins to shift. This is the doorway to miracles. Before you go, take a moment with me. Close your eyes. Take a slow, gentle breath, and let your whole body soften. Whatever you've been holding, whatever you've been chasing, whatever you've been trying to control, you can set it down now. Everything you need is already moving toward you. Trust the path beneath your feet. Trust the timing. Trust the universe more than your fear. If today's message brought you even a little peace, feel free to like, share, or subscribe for more calming content. No pressure, just an open invitation. And until we meet again, may you find calm in the chaos, peace in the noise, and trust in the timing of your life. You are guided, you are supported, and you are exactly where you're meant to be.